Hello, welcome to another segment of Red Dog Bushcraft. I'm Tim Langston, and today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about fatwood. Now, you've seen me start several fires if you've watched any of my videos with fatwood, and it's pretty easy to tell it's my favorite way to start a fire. I was out hunting yesterday, I was walking through the woods, and I kicked over a stump, and I got this piece of pine here that is just full of fatwood. I'm going to have another video where we go out in the woods and we actually see where to find this stuff. But this is nothing more than the piece of a stump and of a fallen pine tree. You can cut it, you can smell the resin, it smells like pine saw. And today I'm going to process down a little bit of this. I'm just going to split it, cut it, and split it down, get a small stick. And I saw on YouTube last night a lot of guys were having these 1 spark fire challenges. And I want to try it with fatwood. They're using a bunch of different tinders, all natural tinders, cattail, all kinds of grass, leaves, things that are real easy to take a spark. But I want to try fatwood and see how we can do with that. So stay with me, I'll process this down and I'll show you how I prepare the fatwood for a 1 spark fire start. Okay, so just like we were out in the woods, and I kicked this over, and this is the way I found it, except that I shaved a little bit of this doty part of the wood, this rotten stuff off, just to verify that it was fatwood. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to do this challenge just like if I had only my daily carry gear. And my Leatherman Blast is what I carry day to day. So I'm going to take the saw and I'm going to cut off a piece of this, and then I'm going to split it down into a couple of sticks, and I'll bring you back as soon as I've done that. Okay, I've got a couple of things here and I want to describe them to you. All this right here is, right here, that's the sawdust where I cut these pieces off of that larger piece of fatwood. Right here I made a couple of little feather sticks, and they're very small. I just made them out of the small sticks. Here's some shavings that I cleaned up when I processed out, cutting the dirty part off of the fatwood. Now I'll make a feather stick right quick. I'm just going to do a small one, and I'm going to show you how to make some more of that dust the way I do it. If I'm starting off with a stick of fatwood and not a I get it down to a small stick, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And this is my saw, and instead of just sawing through, you just scrape it up and down like you're trying to cut it, but you keep moving it like it tries to do on you so many times when you're trying to get an exact spot. And I just keep rubbing it up and down, roughing that area up and not letting it dig into any one place. And you can see that makes some very fine sawdust, and that takes a spark extremely well. The other thing that I did was I took my knife and cleaned that up a little bit, get all those little fuzzies off of there, and I split this down, batoned it off, and came up with some little dinky pieces. This is about the 1/4 the size of a pencil. And all I do is I start up here and very lightly I just get these little curls, and I hope you can see that. These little curls coming off, and I keep rotating my piece of wood around so I make those little curls all the way around. But I'm really trying to get them on one side, and I want them very small and very thin with all but the smallest of core, and then I break it off so I get this little rough looking flowery tree looking thing, and that's going to take a spark extremely well. After I cut it off, I just make another one. Very light. This is no heavy pressure at all, and that's called feather sticking. Okay, then we'll use this once we get a fire going. I'm going to set this up to where my spark goes here, and then I have some of these to place right around it and some of these larger curls, and we'll see if we can't get a good decent flame. Alright, get my ferro rod out and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm zoomed in as tight as I can get, but right here is that finest dust, and then I've got my larger stuff around the outside. And here we go, we're going to go for the one strike. See if we can get sparks. There we go. We've got fire on the first shot. So there you go. The one strike firelight with fat wood and fat wood only. And you can see by the size of that flame, you should have no trouble getting the fire going from there. Alright guys, thanks for joining me, and I'll look forward to seeing you again as we do our walkabout in the woods and discuss how to locate and find, process fat wood. Take care. Until I see you on the next video, God bless.